The need of computational power in a wide range of applications and especially for scientific research is something that someone could not emphasize enough. The need for high throughput and timely analysis of large quantity of data is of essence in areas ranging from chemoinformatics to nanoinformatics and from computational fluid dynamics to socio-economic analysis. The integration of GPU-accelerated calculation in big data modeling will contribute to the reduction of the computational times and the development of more robust in silico models. Thus we proudly present the new generation of Enalos KNIME nodes, the GPU-accelerated Enalos nodes, developed by NovaMechanics. The nodes are developed using the dominant framework of NVIDIA's CUDA, that is one of the first frameworks that made GPU programming closer to high-level programming languages, and OpenCL, that is the dominant open general-purpose GPU computing language. Enalos GPU can be easily integrated into KNIME platform. As far as it concerns the group of nodes that the computational part is running using NovaMechanics Server, no further action is required. The group of nodes that are being executing locally, can run either on CPU or GPU. The communication between the user's computer and NovaMechanics Server over the internet is bidirectional. First the user sends to the server input data and after executing the computations using the GPU unit the server sends back the specific method's output to the user. The data can be stolen only in NovaMechanics Server or during the transmission over the internet. In our server we do have state-of-the-art firewall and security as well as we never store the user's data for more than they are needed, as they are permanently deleted as soon as the computations of the nodes have been finished and even before the transmission of the results back to the user. In order to protect the input data and results during transmission we have implemented a communication protocol, that uses both symmetric and asymmetric cryptography. Till now 4 GPU-accelerated Enalos KNIME nodes have been developed and will greatly improve modeling performance. The applicability domain based on the Euclidean distances node, the applicability domain based on the extent of extrapolation, the Canard-Stones partition and the sphere exclusion partition. The nodes are ready to use through KNIME with just a few clicks for the adjustment of parameters. The partitioning nodes can be used during external validation of predictive models, in order to divide an initial dataset into training and test set, or in order to select with a representative manner, samples from a large dataset and construct smaller sets. The domain of applicability nodes flags samples in the test set, based on the training set for which predictions may be unreliable. In order to demonstrate the execution time reduction when the GPU-accelerated Enalos nodes are used, an illustrative realistic case study was developed, and the execution time of the nodes was recorded. The dataset used in the case study consists of 45,527 compounds tested in a study of detection of reactive oxygen species, using fluorescent dye in transformed cancer cells. In brief, molecular descriptors for both active and inactive compounds were calculated using the Enalos Mold2 node. From the inactive sample only 16,000 were kept for further analysis in order to reduce the gap in the number of active and inactive samples. After this step a table with 16,900 samples and 777 descriptors remained to be further analyzed. In a next step the data table was partitioned into training and test sets, using server Canard and Stone and server sphere exclusion nodes. We proceed with modeling using the training and test subsets produced by Canard-Stone's method. The CFS subset eval variable selection along with best first evaluator method was applied on the training set, with the purpose to select the most significant among the 777 available descriptors. 14 descriptors emerged as the most critical for the model development. The descriptor values of the training set were normalized with z-score method, and the applied normalization parameters were used on the test set during external validation, using normalizer and normalizer apply nodes. The proposed KNIME workflow gave us the flexibility to test the performance of different modeling methods and finally select the combination that best fits in our data. Among available methodologies, J48, decision trees, algorithm emerged as the outperforming one, that best describes the significant correlation between selected descriptors and given activity. Finally, the domain of applicability was determined in order to define the area of reliable predictions using server APD and server leverage nodes. The total execution time of the Enalos GPU nodes is presented. This was just a simple example to get you started. We tried to keep it simple and intuitive. There is a lot more to discover. We would love to receive your feedback and find out the new functionalities that could be included in the GPU accelerated Enalos nodes.